Hello everyone, I'm Rustus, welcome. This is part 2 of my beginner tarot series. I don't really know how many of these I'll actually make. If you have ideas or questions for me to make more videos with, I'd be glad to do them. Just leave them down in the comments below. So this particular video is about initial things you can do once you get your first tarot deck. One of the first things I will do is I will get a deck and just spread it out, right? I just start turning cards over. I don't look at the book. I might like flip through the book, but I don't read meanings. I want to engage the cards. I want to see what they have to tell me. Not necessarily tell me. I just want to play with them. I just want to see all the cards and look at them and explore them. There's the Tower from the first video. There's the Universe. Major arcana showing up. So, I spread them out all over the forest floor or, a dining room table. And I just enjoy the images. And that's usually the first thing I'll do. Matter of fact, when I got my Druidcraft Tarot over winter solstice, it was a surprise gift and we were traveling and I had to wait about 2 or 3 days before I could go through that initial ritual at home in the morning when it was quiet and sort of not a whole lot going on. Because for me personally, that's a very important ritual to do. Secondly, again, this is without really reading the book or looking at meanings. I will go through the deck and I will find a card that I dislike the most. I find a card that I like the most. Okay, I learned this from my dear friend Jessa Macbeth, who wrote the Fairies Oracle, and she writes about that in the Fairies Oracle book. That's where I learned it. Now this helps you to sort of, and it's always surprising because what ended up with me with the Fairies Oracle is I ended up liking the one I hated and the one I liked I ended up loving once I got to know the meanings and getting to know the cards and, years later. But that initial process, that begins the process of engaging the deck. And the third thing to do is get the deck all put back together. So you have a card you like the most, a card you like the least, and then I pull a single card out, right? And that's the deck's message to me, right? And that first card is super important. And I write it down and I remember it because I like to look back years later to see how it applies or to see if that energy of the first card made sense as I worked with the cards more and got to know them. Each deck is going to have its different spice or its flavor, right? And this process helps you to kind of engage that and get a feeling for how the cards feel or how you feel about the cards. That's the more accurate statement there. Also, I recommend going out and looking online. And you can do, you could use tarot deck interview spread. And you're basically doing a spread that interviews the tarot deck that you have. And things like, what are you here to teach me? What am I here to learn from you? What am I not seeing? What are you going to help me see that I'm not seeing? Et cetera, et cetera. Look those up and then do one with your new deck. That will also help you engage the deck more. Now, day to day, don't go ripping out a 10-card reading. You'll want to do 1 to 2 to 3 card spreads. The best thing, and I believe this is the best thing you can do day to day. Sorry, I have to adjust the camera here. The best thing you can do day to day is get a journal, get a notebook. At the beginning of your day, grab a card. Pull a card out of the deck. Hey, I got the Hermit. Look at the card. Write it down, and then throughout your day, we're not saying that you're going to be a hermit today. You want to look at the card, read up on the card, and sort of, what do you see right off? He's by himself. He looks like he's out alone in the wilderness by himself. He looks to be well equipped. He doesn't seem to be hungry, or he's like searching for something maybe. But you take the understanding and the meaning of the card and you take it with you through the day, and then throughout the day, look for instances, situations, and things throughout your day that match what the hermit means. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be happening to you. This could be a fictional character. You're watching a TV show, and somebody has gone off into the woods to be by themselves and live in an old shack. Well, guess what? That's the hermit. It could be a friend's telling you a story about how they feel like they just got to get away from it all. See how the meaning of the hermit comes through to you throughout the day, and write it down. Digest it, process it, and work your way through the 78 cards. And just let it happen. Just work your way through. It doesn't have to be in order. You don't start with the Ace of Cups and then the Two of Cups and the Three of, just shuffle the deck, draw a card at the beginning of the morning and go, oh, Five of Cups. Okay. I'll keep that in mind throughout my day, and I'll look for ways that it applies. Okay. That is probably the number one exercise that I did for years, and I still do it, to keep me in touch with the cards. And I learn new things every time I do it too. Like, I'll come across a card like the Tower, and sure, we all know the Tower is about long established traditions falling apart, things that have outgrown themselves being knocked down, whether it be a relationship or a business or anything like that. But, it was a year or so before I realized, in this card particularly, all the water energy and the emotions and how that could be like churning emotions, right? All right, I got a visiting bug. And so I ended up putting that into my meaning of the Tower, like to remember that amongst this storm, there's this waves of chaos happening on top of the lightning strike. And that waves of chaos, those emotional waves, right? So just an example of something that you can add to a meaning of the card that becomes a personal meaning for you. Okay. That is it. Daily readings, daily one-card readings. And do that, work with your deck, and go from there. I mean, there's a lot of other things people recommend, smudging the deck, keeping it out by moonlight, sleeping with it under your pillow. I gotta be honest, I haven't done any of those. But do it if it feels right. If your gut tells you to do it, do it. I think that's the bottom line. Like if you're feeling a need that, okay, I need to sleep with this, and it's telling me, or I'm getting this sense that I need to keep it with me or in my purse every day, well, go ahead and do it. As long as you're not hurting yourself or others, maybe it's trying to tell you something. Okay. Well, I hope this helped. And if you have, like I said, any more questions or comments or ideas for other videos about working with tarot and oracle decks, etc., put them down below. Thanks so much. Strength and peace. And thanks a lot. Take care, everybody.